Well, it's very complicated, and it doesn't need to be this complicated. I think what happens is everybody who determines the tax law, they get in a room, and everybody's got their own agenda that they want to see put through. So, people want to see charitable contributions, and other people say, no, let's take those out because only wealthy people will give charitable contributions, and they'll get more of a tax benefit. Well, I shouldn't say only wealthy people, but wealthy people who give more get a bigger tax benefit from it, and we don't, we want to tax the wealthy. So it just gets into, a stalemate, and they can't come up with something that is, that everybody can agree upon. So I know they are working on simplifying the tax code. There's all kinds of things going on in, different news articles that I read that they're working on different things. Whether it turns out to be a flat tax, I personally doubt it. But I'm hoping that they come up with something that, what they're talking about is getting rid of the alternative minimum tax, which is a whole other set of rules to calculate your tax. And if it comes out higher, then you have to pay more than your regular tax. And more people are getting subject to that. So, I think hopefully tax reform will come, and hopefully it'll make things simpler so that, maybe not so good for my business if people can do it themselves, but, it shouldn't be this complicated to a person, living in this country to file a tax return.
The bat season's coming up. Usually May 1st through November 1st, we get a lot of calls about bats. First of all, if you get a bat in your house, before anybody gets rid of it, they should call the health department to see if it is an exposure and should we test it. A bat just being in your house doesn't mean it's an exposure, but if you're sleeping in your bedroom and you wake up and there was a bat in your bedroom, that is considered an exposure. Or if it's seen leaving a young child's room, and we don't know,
Even if it hasn't interacted, bitten you, you consider that an exposure?
If you're sleeping, we don't know what happened. But if it was definitely in the bedroom with you, that's the protocol. That would be considered an exposure. And if we have the bat to test, we can avoid somebody getting, rabies shots if we can test the bat. I've had maybe 4 rabid bats in the last 12 years that I've tested, but we've given a lot of vaccinations out because people have discarded the bat before calling us. So this is a great point to always call us before you get rid of the bat.